Hi, I'm Richie.
Hi, I'm Andrew.
And we're the hosts of the Well podcast.
And in this show, we're going to talk about all things marketing related and the things that RA marketing can do for financial advisors, as well as what we're doing in our own financial advisory practices.
Yeah, like Andrew said, we are both active financial advisors. So we're in the field doing what you guys do. And so in this show, we'll share the good, the bad, and the ugly.
This episode of The Well starts now.
All right, welcome back. We're at The Well. This is season 3, episode number 11.
Number 11. This is the final episode of the advisor interview series that we did this year. I think I mentioned in the last one, but Keith had told us he's planning on doing some more in 2026. And like we said in the last one, if you know somebody, if you are somebody that you feel like we should bring on to the podcast for this type of format, come on in. We love it.
This is exciting. Today we've got Kristen, and haven't seen the interview, but Keith speaks very highly of it, so it's going to be exciting to see it. There's going to be a slow unveil as we go during this video as well, these two guys.
All right. It's also fall.
Here
we got the cooler weather. Wearing my flannels. They're back out.
Well, what if we get no views on this now?
We'll get views. I'm in flannel. The people love the flannel, except at seminars. They do not like I was wearing these types of shirts early in the year when it was colder, and we identified that I get fewer appointments when I wear a flannel shirt presenting the seminar. And
little tweaks.
I don't know what it is, but apparently people in their 50s and 60s and 70s don't appreciate it when the presenter is a little too comfortable.
It just depends, I guess. I don't know.
So I got to wear a polo.
I would think down here in the country a little bit too. Like
I honestly, some of these, and they match my brand, like color scheme wise. I was like, yeah, this is really smart. It's clever. It's on brand. It looks good. And nope, doesn't matter. If I do much better if I wear a purple polo, if I wear the flannel. So lesson learned, I guess. So know your audience.
Too good. Why am I holding these, Andrew? What's this about?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's really uncomfortable.
All right, let's watch the interview then. Let's do this thing.
Well, I want to welcome Kristen Speakman to the podcast today, and excited to have her on as we get going here. Now, Kristen, we had this scheduled just a little bit ago. You decided to catch a flu bug and almost die on us. So
that's what I get for having young kids. They came home with all the bad things.
I would not know anything about the kids bringing stuff home with them from
No,
school.
not at all.
No. Well,
but now I'm healthy, so thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited.
Well, tell us, Kristen, how long have you been in the industry as an advisor, who you work with, where you work? Give us some background here.
So my story is a little different. I have been in the industry for 5 years now. I worked in the healthcare field prior. I actually have a degree in physical therapy. I'm a physical therapist assistant as well.
So my shoulder right now. No,
I do help my clients all the way around. Sometimes I joke saying I have to use my whole brain during an appointment. But no, I worked in the healthcare field for 8 years. So I got to see how healthcare really changed and affects retirees. And I decided to change careers just out of nowhere. And I joined 5 years ago with a former company. And now I work at Transparent Retirement Group with Tim Kiley as the owner. And I love what I do. So I haven't looked back. I've had great mentors. My brother-in-law and my father-in-law both are in the industry and brought me over 5 years ago. So I no longer work with them because we're separating for a little bit, but I now work with my current partner, Frank Leto, and I'm learning so much.
That's fantastic. And you're are you in the Tampa, the Gainesville? I mean, I think you guys have a lot of different presence in Florida, right?
So Transparent Retirement Group does have Ocala, Inverness offices, Lakewood Ranch, Lakeland, and our main office is Tampa, right by the international airport. So, but we travel all over. So we've been primarily working a little bit south because that's where most of the retirees live, in Sun City area.
Very cool. I mean, as a kid, I grew up just outside of Tampa for a few years. My dad was in the military, stationed at MacDill out there.
Oh, yeah. That's not far from where I live. Nope.
Yeah. Excellent. Tell me what kind of brought you into the industry. I mean, maybe it was the fact that, again, you have some family in it, but what attracts you to it? Why do you stay in it? And what do you hope to achieve in this industry?
During my seminars, I talk a lot about, well, first, when I'm introducing myself, I tell people my why. And that is in 2008, 2009, that really affected, the market crash really affected my family. It was really hard. Then my granddad got sick, and he was a VA. He was in the Navy for a very long time, and you would think that he would have long-term care, but he didn't. He didn't have enough care. So my mom, which was his daughter-in-law, she quit her job and she took care of him. And I saw how difficult that was, not having a plan. And I saw how other family members who were about to retire in 2008 and lost 40% of their portfolios and had to keep
delay
working.
Or had to go back, right?
Yeah. So I saw all of that, and I was, at that time in my life, I had a baby in 2020, and sadly, I was in the corporate world of physical therapy. So I kind of got pushed out. They weren't really treating us very fair, only because that's what insurance would reimburse them to get paid, right? So I was influenced in the best way to change careers, and I am a very empathetic person. So when I sit with my clients, I always want to help them because that's my passion. So I feel like I could do that from here and there, but I like it better here, right? Because the end of, after people are done working, that's the most important part, preserving their principal, making sure they're having fun in their go-go years and not running out of money. So very important.
It's like what Roy Rogers said, the older I get, the more concerned I am with return of my principal rather than return on my principal.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what we aim for. We aim to help with rates of return and beating inflation, at least, right? In the best way.
What do you think, and how do people respond to your why story? You guys just had a seminar last night, I think. Tell us about how that went. And then, of course, I'm very interested in, we always talk about why, sharing your why, but tell me how people respond to yours and your seminar experience with us.
I get a lot of people saying thank you for sharing. I see that when people attend other seminars, that it isn't their first or second seminar that they've been to.
That's true.
Right? So when they're like, your information genuinely, it felt like you were speaking from your heart. And that's what we try to separate. When we're doing our seminars, we try to bring a little piece of us into the seminar to make people feel comfortable. And I feel like that translates so much better when you can share the hard parts of your life or your story and people relate.
Yeah, man, that's so good. Being relatable in this industry is so key. It's sometimes kind of hard, but it's so key. You want people to see you as a real person, and your authenticity really, really matters. I actually had one of the greatest probably compliments I've had in this business in a really long time. I had my parents at my seminar last week. So it was really cool to have them in there. I still tell the Price is Right story with them, and so their pictures are up there. So when I did that, of course, they're in the audience, so I have to say, okay, so you probably noticed right here are my parents and whatever. So I had a great seminar. It ends, and I go do my thing, in a room next door. And afterward, my parents came up to me they were they're proud parents, they're parents, and they're just supporting me and all that kind of stuff. They're like, so many people came up to us and just said that they could tell how honest you were in this business, how much you actually cared about them, super authentic. They were just full of compliments. To me, that was a huge, that's all I really want to do at the seminar. We're all in this business because it's good, and we're providing for our families and those things. But for people to see an authentic person who actually cares about the situations is meaningful to me. I get that with her too. Even just the way she's talking with Keith, you can tell how relatable she is at her seminars. It's such an important part.
It is. It's huge. I mean, I had an appointment this week where we were talking about financial planning stuff, but it ended up being an almost 3-hour appointment because about an hour into it, we stopped talking about financial stuff and we started talking about kind of his why of what he was trying to accomplish in his
perfect.
And it turned into a somewhat emotional conversation for him where he was trying to really rationalize whether or not he was pursuing things for the right reasons and all this stuff. And we stopped talking about money and started talking about hey, why are you doing this? And ultimately in his situation, he was kind of trying to shoehorn his wife into making this decision. He's like, I feel she wasn't there, but he's like, I'm feeling kind of guilty about having to convince her to do these things. And we had a much more philosophical and almost religious conversation. Actually, it did turn into a spiritual conversation about his why of why he was doing these things. And he hadn't made the decision to work with us, but by the end of that conversation, he's like, I think I'm going to work with you guys because what other financial advisor is going to sit here and have this kind of conversation? And I was like, I mean, that's not necessarily what I'm paid for, but it's, I enjoy it. I enjoy the relationships, and this is why we do it. It's to genuinely help people and connect with them and not just sell them a product.
Yeah, we have a platform.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, it can be a ministry. It can absolutely be a ministry to people that need it.
And I don't know if it's the current world or what's going on, but I feel more and more led to use the platform.
Yeah.
I mean, I just claim it. And when I'm up there, and you're to work with me, and we're gonna have a relationship together and help each other pass finances.
Yeah.
It's been enjoyable to do that, but yeah, it's a cool part about our job. Treat them like people, not sales.
Yeah.
You'll stumble into money just doing the right thing.
That's right.
Now, we've been working with you and with your other advisors in your company for some time now. Tell us about, your experience with us, good or bad, whatever. This is not scripted for those of you who are watching. This is we're just going off the cuff here. But I mean, what have you found your experience with our company to be, results to be, things like that?
Yeah. So I actually met you guys back in January at the Aegis Summit. So Transparent Retirement Group is part of Aegis Financial, and you guys were there. So it was my job from my boss to interview marketing companies. So I left that the next week. I had 3 interviews, and we've used a few mailer companies. And what I liked best about RA is the fact that it's digital. It was really scary at first for us because when we've used mailing companies in the past and they didn't fill the seats, they would say, we're going to send out a Facebook lead. And it was always the least of quality of people that we were wanting to attend the seminar. And there was no control over that. So when we met with you guys and you said, yes, there is control, that's where we were so intrigued. And yes, we've had butts in seats with you guys, but we've also had good quality butts as well. There's always going to be outliers. And we've recognized some names that from prior seminars. So it's just about weeding people out. But yeah, that's about.
You're going to have some repeat offenders in there. I really like what you just said there. We hear you certainly weren't the first person to express, I don't know, I've tried digital before, I'm really iffy about it, or even do this to us about it.
Yeah.
And I understand it. And I think that most people have experienced a process problem, not a medium problem. The medium of digital marketing can be excellent and it can be poor. And that is true with mailers. That is true with TV and radio. It's the execution and it's the process of it. So what we often share is that, in 2016, we started with digital. That's what we cut our teeth in event marketing for advisors using only digital. We have learned the behaviors and interests you have to target, the order in which you must layer them even. It matters.
It does.
And I feel like a lot of traditional mail houses, which we also do, we do direct mail. But what's happened now is a lot of those direct mail houses have tried to catch up and they're behind the curve. They're trying to learn digital. And instead of fully embracing it, they treat it just like you just said, Kristen, as a Band-Aid, something that we should only turn to in a dire circumstance if we need to fill seats.
To fill seats.
Yeah. And not provide real opportunity, but just for the sake of the energy in the room, we got to put some bodies in there. And
it's important to note that if we're doing seminars in a dominantly retirement city and other companies aren't filling seats, what does that tell you? That these people are, one, getting a lot of mailers probably, and they notice it and they just throw it away. But when you're mindlessly scrolling on Facebook and you see that ad, you're like, maybe I should go. I'm seeing different people. And sometimes I even see people who have never attended a seminar. So both sides work. Paper.
They do.
But they work for different reasons. The location that we like to use, I won't say, but no, I'm just kidding. But the location we like to use does better with digital marketing. It's been proven. There have been times with paper mailers that we have 8 people in a seat and we had to cancel the second night. And that's not what we want to pay for.
Totally. And, you know, unfortunately, I think everyone has had that experience one time or another. We are certainly not perfect, but we work hard. And I think that's, you know, if we don't have something go right, we own it, we dig deep as to why, and we do everything we can to make that right. But, you know, one of the things that I think really drives us, Kristen, is we have a strong why like you have. You know, we're led by advisors, owned by advisors, all that kind of discussion that we often have, and has a lot of meaning. I don't want to gloss over it.
No, it does, because you understand the struggles.
We do. We see it. I'm married to an advisor.
I know you are.
Yeah, whose name is Kristen. Same spelling as yours.
Really? I did not know that.
Exact same spelling. You guys both spell it right, according to my wife.
Thank you. Thank you. I like her.
What do you... you know, I do too. And I'm a really lucky man for that she likes me most of the time.
Yeah.
What do you think, you know, as you've been in this now 5 years and you're going at it and you know, hard work, head down, nose to the grindstone, what do you find advisors or see advisors make mistakes with? You know, maybe talk a little bit about that with us. What do you think people typically trip on that they shouldn't be?
You know, I'm going to bring it back to the healthcare side. You know, when a doctor walks into an office and he's talking to you with special languages, special words that you have no idea what meaning it is, I feel like advisors that are very, very smart and too smart for their own good speak like that at seminars. And not only do they lose people, but they don't understand what you're saying. They just are like, wow, that guy's intelligent, that girl's intelligent, but are they relaying the message? I dumb down what I'm trying to say because I've seen it. I've worked in the healthcare field. I know how people, when you say the name of a muscle, they're like, where's that? You know, it's the same as financials. It's the same as retirement planning. Even speaking about Social Security, people are like, what? So you have to relay the message in a way that people will understand.
I love that. And maybe I'm a little bit different. I'll use healthcare. So I just had shoulder surgery about 7 months ago.
Your rotator cuff?
It was. Okay, so you're going to understand this. I had a 75% tear in my supraspinatus tendon.
Supraspinatus, yep.
Okay.
Right up here.
So they did tell me that, right? And I was like, huh? But of course, I'm the guy that will go home and research it and look it up and research and look it up. But to your point, most people are just going to say exactly what you said. Yeah, it was my rotator cuff.
Yeah, but they don't know that the rotator cuff is made of 4 muscles. So
right, and some tendons coming in, all that, and blah blah blah.
Just like retirement, they don't know all the things that go into it. Right.
It's important for you to know, right, as an advisor. But doggone it, I mean, you're absolutely. People just want to know: am I on the right track? Am I not? How do I fix that?
Yeah.
And speaking in layman's terms, I don't just think it's about not speaking technically, because sometimes it might be appropriate to speak technically for a moment, but I always come back to
engineer clients, we speak technical.
For sure. but you always got to come back to what that means for you is take this path, right? And so we have to at least point them to it. I think when we need to be technical, just always come back to what this means to you is XYZ. I really like what you just said when you said, well, they walk away from that thinking that person's intelligent. But where was the human connection? They're not going to do business with you just because you're intelligent. That might help. But why do people do business with us, Kristen?
Yeah. I even stopped saying that my background is physical therapy because I just want people to see that I'm normal. I'm human. I want them to feel the humanness coming out when I'm speaking about retirement, because I don't want them to wander away from anything else when they're there.
That's why they do business with us.
Oh, yeah.
We've been vulnerable with them. That's exactly right. They know that we're human too. They can see something in us that is somewhat like them. And
exactly.
That's awesome.
You know, and I just think sometimes advisors, they go in with a plan and they speak about something, but you just got to go with it. If someone asks a question, you have to just make it relatable to the group, right? So just make it more normal, make it more human.
That's fantastic. What in your sales process, so you've done an event, you've done a seminar. How do you guys do your sales process? What's the first meeting like? Do you have a fit call or impact call ahead of time? Talk me through your process.
So you know me already. I like to call all of my seminar attendees myself. I want to start that human interaction day one. Because when they walk up to me and I'm checking them in, they're like, yes, I've spoken to you 5 times already, so I want that. Can you stop texting me? No, just kidding. But that's where it starts. And when we're giving the folders, there's a paper in there and it's front and back, and it is so interactive with the presentation. And they have to tell us what their concerns are. They have to even put a day and time that they want to meet. Not all the time do people fill that out, but it already puts it in their head that that's what we're going to come around and we're going to do after, is we're going to book an appointment. So.
And so you're doing that. You're doing everything you can to do that at the events, I take it. Okay.
At the event. Yep.
And then
so when we book the appointments, I have on my business card, the back of it, it has the date and time. I say, put it on your fridge when you get home. I'm going to call you 2 days prior to confirm. The next morning after the seminar, I send a text. Thank you for coming. Here's our appointment time and date and the address. So we call them touches. You always want to make as many touches as possible with these people because you don't want to be another number, another seminar that they've attended. So doing that, those touches, the more touches you make, the more responses you get back, the more likely that you're going to sit down face to face with them and close business.
You know who else does that? Write an appointment on the back of the card, put it on your fridge. What other industry does that? Healthcare.
Doctors. Yeah.
Doctors, right? And
yeah.
I it's such a simple thing, but as I sit here and my background is behavioral economics, and so I nerd out on this a little bit.
Yeah.
I do enjoy seeing the simple little things that do work. People are they're going to keep their doctor's appointments. And so maybe, Kristen, it kind of strikes me as interesting that the more you treat this like a doctor's appointment, the more likely people are to show up. So I have no idea what your answer here is, but what's your stick ratio? I mean, how many, at least people show up, yes, but people that also call and reschedule if they do need to. Yeah. What's your ratio for that versus someone who just totally ghosts you?
Yeah. Well, ever since I started doing more touches, that has definitely increased. I would say around 70% retain or reschedule. Only a few fall off, and I've noticed more not falling off in the last year. So.
And you think that's a reason for that right there?
Yeah. Making it more human, making it, texting them like you're a friend. Hey, can't wait to see you. Here's the address. Here's the time and date. Yeah.
And so you're doing that personally. You're not relying on like a Calendly or something like that to do the automated thing.
No,
like that.
I'm so type A. I need to do it all myself. It's a problem.
Only if it doesn't work.
Yeah. Like I said, that's another human aspect to it. Because if they're getting automated text, when I get an automated text, I know it's automated. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to put that down. Unless it's a doctor's appointment. But so
sure. And they do that too, right? I mean, to be fair, they use that technology. It's meant to make our lives a little bit better. Yeah. But, I'm reminded of, Atomic Habits, right? That book. I'm just reminded of do 1% better in this area, just 1%, do 1% better in this area. And if you took an extra 5 minutes to do a personal text to the 7, 8, 10 appointments that you scheduled, or do a quick bomb video that's 30 seconds, 30 seconds of your time to the 7 or 8 appointments that you scheduled, that might add up to a lot of extra clientele in the end. I really believe that.
And
teach that.
There's always outliers. The people who are serial seminar attenders. They book an appointment. They make you feel really good that they can't wait to see you, and then ghost you. So there's always those. Can't avoid them. Gotta love them. They're doing great.
Yeah. What's interesting is we're kind of like putting a bow on like these advisor interviews. Something I've noticed is kind of a trend. They're all very intentional about, a couple of things. They're doing it different ways, but they're all very intentional about getting that appointment at the event. And if you've taken nothing else away from these 4 of these that we've done, take that, because if you're not setting appointments at the event, man, you're missing out. Like, be intentional about getting those appointments at the event.
Single advisor shops all the way to, what did she say, like 5 locations, I think. Like everybody in between that's doing what you just said.
Right. And they're all telling stories too. I mean, I think I'm back to Jesse's story and like the way he kind of introduces the seminar, like the know, like, and trust concept. Like she's not coming right out and saying, do you know me, like me, and trust me, like Jesse said, but she's being really human. And that's what she's conveying, is that she's trying to get them to know her personally, vulnerably. She's trying to get them to like her and trust her enough to set an appointment and move on to the next step. So that's, I'm sensing that common theme, like you said, from a single advisor like Scott all the way up to a multi-advisor shop. They're all following that same kind of process in different ways, different parts of the recipe, right? But they're still making a cookie at the end of the day.
And real quick on what she just said at the end there, how there's always going to be somebody who was never going to meet with you, but they're going to set the appointment, act like they are.
Yep.
It bothers all of us. Yep. And if you do seminars at all with frequency, it'll bother you at some point. And it's really a mental game to not let it. But I would say 6, 7 seminars ago. 6, 7. You guys know the 6, 7?
I don't know the 6, 7.
What?
I don't know the 6, 7.
Oh, it's all my kids say right now. 6, 7.
Is this a trend? I don't know.
It's a trend.
I'm apparently behind. I'm behind. All right, 6, 7. I'll look it up.
6, 7. 6, 7 seminars ago. I see you over there, Quinn. You know. He knows. Put it on there. 6, 7. 6, 7 got so bad at the school. The math teacher was like, if they say it, it's a detention immediately. Because I have to say the numbers in math class, and I can't have the kids saying 6, 7 every time.
Is it like it's like a football dance or something? Like somebody celebrating or something?
It's just some TikTok video, and it was like a thing that happened.
I don't use the TikTok, so that's
I don't use TikTok, and it's everywhere with the kids. It's just
I must have missed that one. That's right over my head.
Right over your head.
Yep. So anyway, what you were saying about the serial attenders?
All right.
6 or 7 seminars ago.
Speaking of your head,
oh man, I hate that. I hate that pillow.
Okay, get serious, Andrew. I'm trying to tell them. Sorry, point here. So 6 or 7 seminars ago, I decided just to tell people at the end. I've shared this already. I don't remember what episode, but I'll give my kind of spiel. We'll do the circle 2 times on the back of your green sheet, like all this stuff, whatever. And then I'll say, look, I'm gonna sell against myself for a second, but it's kind of necessary. You guys are busy. We've had a great night tonight. Everybody's good. I don't want you in any way to feel pressured to schedule an appointment. If you already know in your head, I don't need a jet book. I don't need this process. I'm not going to show up to the appointment. I'm going to reschedule it. If that's you right now, don't feel bad about not scheduling an appointment. It's okay to not do that. Don't feel guilty about it. On the flip side of that, if you know you need help on one of those things, I want you to schedule it. I want you to know we go to work for our clients. There's nothing that we won't do for you. We're going to go to work for you. And ever since I started doing that little pitch at the end, man, I'll have to look. I have it. It's in my spreadsheet. I would say it's increased about 20% show rate on just that first appointment, just with that. And that's the only thing that we changed. So getting serious, because I think they kind of respect your time. Yeah. And then they respect their time. They go, okay, they have to make a decision right there if they're going to come or not, or they're going to feel bad if they don't. Right. It just really helps. So
yeah, I mean, to your point, like I think, and even to what Kristen's saying, these serial attenders that like at the seminar, they set an appointment and they're trying to make you feel good about they're going to come in. Most of the time, if we're really honest with ourselves and they're being honest with themselves, they're doing it out of guilt. And it's not because one of my favorite lines, and I say it constantly, never attribute to malice what could just as easily be attributed to stupidity. And I'm not saying they're being stupid. Maybe they're just being emotionally mature and they're saying, hey, I feel bad that I took his food, or I took her time or whatever. So this is how I can make it up to them. And kind of what you're saying is take that away from them. You don't have to feel bad. Like just don't continue to waste my time, right? Yeah, I think that's good to just be really honest with people and vulnerable with people. Like, hey, if you're serious about this, let's move on. But if you're not, don't skin off on anybody's nose. Just have a good night.
I'd rather end it here as friends.
Right.
And that's perfectly okay. Hopefully you got something out of this, and
yeah,
good luck.
I like that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so food versus educational. You guys typically do a restaurant type of venue, I think, and
steakhouses are usually our go-to.
Tell us a little, because so something I deal with a lot are staunch advisors who have sworn off dinner seminars, the restaurant. They will not do it. They're sick of buying people steaks. We have ways of turning that on its head. We teach how to weed out plate lickers. We teach how to have a different script. We teach that you can do pre-register instead of register now on the landing page. You know, we can do all that, but how do you handle that?
So the pre-register questions that you have provided me, they actually do work really well. And that has helped weed out people that necessarily aren't right for our seminars. I wouldn't say the information wouldn't be good for them, but you got to weed them out. And that does help a lot with what you were saying to me about the questions. You just got to build the confidence to call them and ask those questions, because that's what it is. It's awkward. It's awkward for them. It's awkward for you.
But this is your event, right? Yeah. This is your event. I mean, I think advisors have a hard time with that sometimes. Like, I'm there to serve everyone who's there. I guess I mean serve them food, yes, but I'm there just to appease them in anything and everything. That's not true.
We don't want to buy dinners for everyone. We want to buy dinners for people who at least want a 10% chance of listening to us and maybe booking, because that's better than Joe Schmo who's just there for the steak.
Well, and no matter the pre-registration script and trying to weed it down, some will get through. Okay, fine. You know, you're going to deal with the plate liquor mafia a little bit. But I wonder how you feel about this. My attitude is, for advisors, be good enough to convert a few. You are always going to have some plate lickers. We're doing everything we can. You're doing everything you can, Kristen, to weed those out, to curate that room to a good opportunity event, right, for you, because it is your event. But doggone it, as a presenter, you got to be good enough to convert a few. That's all you need.
Yeah, like last night, we had 12 buying units. We booked 7.
Nice.
And we walked away feeling good about 3. And that's great. You want to feel good about 3. There might be, those 3 might not book, but the other person or close, but the other person that was not part of your 3 might, you know. I joke with my coworkers, I'm going to make us all shirts that say it only takes 1. And that's really sometimes what it is. But, you know, even if we sit down with couples and we look at their book of business and we're like, hey, that looks great, don't let anyone change it, we get referrals that way. So it works out.
That's a very good thing to do. Like, the integrity is high. And if anything ever did change, of course, those people who you said, you know, right now, I think you're okay.
And that's what we say during the seminar. We tell them, hey, if we sit down with you and can't help you, we will let you know. Don't let anyone touch this. You know, it's doing great, you know, so.
Well, the integrity there, because the referrals will come from that, like you say, something in their life may change, and you're going to be their first call. I mean, they trust you now, and they like you.
Yeah. Another thing we don't do is talk about products that much. Actually, not at all. In the seminar, because we don't want them to feel like we are pushing products. We don't have to do that because we represent all the products. So, and that's another great thing, you know, we get to look at their goals and wishes for retirement and then match the company that's going to highlight that, accomplish that. So there's no pressure. Like, I feel like advisors who pressure don't do as well.
I think that's very true. They have, you know, as the industry is fond of saying, commission breath. And I think that's the irony of it. The less you push, even push them away sometimes, they tend to draw themselves in. And just, you know, do what's right, provide great education, quantify the before and after for them. And then I think, but in the end, all the math in the world, and this is hard for me to say as an economics guy, all the math in the world, I don't think it inevitably moves them. I think what moves them, do you care about them? Can they sense they like you? Do they trust you? And then they make the decision to go with you. And then they'll use the math to justify the decision.
Yeah, exactly.
Very cool. What do you think's made the biggest impact in your business here, Kristen?
Being in front of more people. Honestly, if I was able to sit in front of a group of people versus just a few people, that has what's been most changing to my career. Just people getting to know me and seeing that we do care, you know, that we don't just do assets under management and life insurance and annuities. We don't just do that. We help you with everything as far as retirement goes. There is no gap unfilled. So that has been the biggest change. And I've seen prior marketing companies where my book of business isn't like that great that month because there weren't enough butts in seats at my seminars. So yeah, it's been bigger.
Well, that's what I really hear you saying is just being real with people, just being human, being vulnerable moves that needle for you. And it's ironic. You don't have to. I say it's ironic because there's tons of sales training and sales tactics and strategy, and I think some of that has value for sure. Like
definitely,
and you can sharpen your saw and all that. I just don't think there's anything, though, that replaces genuine care and concern. And I feel that from you as we're talking right now, that this is something you love. You have a powerful why. It's not fake. It's not some made-up story. It's real. It's in you. And Kristen, can't you tell that people feel that from you when you're visiting with them?
Yeah, I get asked, like, why do I miss anything from my prior career? And I was like, just helping people. Torturing people was great too, physically, but helping, I say that
that's a soundbite.
Just kidding. But no, just helping, the empathy part of it, right? The empathy, caring about someone's concerns is beautiful. It helps you build as a person too. So, yeah.
Awesome. What advice, if you could give just one piece of advice to other advisors out there as we kind of wrap up a little bit, Kristen, what would you say?
Ooh, I might have two, maybe.
Okay. Well,
so first is find a mentor for especially newer people who are doing these educational events. It's so intimidating to do an educational event and not sell one thing or sell maybe something small like Medicare. But you just keep going, just keep doing it. Learn from the no's. Take away something that if it's not a sale, ask why. Don't be afraid to ask the client, what was I missing? What are you missing from what I gave you? Because sometimes they won't tell you, but sometimes they'll be very honest. And finding a mentor, making sure that you're constantly learning. Be a sponge. I was blessed to have, 3 great mentors so far, and that's a blessing. And it's helped me grow as, a leader in this community within the financial realm. But just making sure that you have your head on straight and you put the client first, because that's all they want, is to feel protected in retirement and not have any gaps.
That's fantastic, Kristen. Yeah. Thank you
Thank you.
That. I genuinely believe you're on the nose of the rocket here for your career, and
thank you. I appreciate it.
Sincerely appreciate your time this morning. And with that, I'm going to let you get back to your day because I know you got a book full of appointments to get to.
I do today. Got to get in the car.
All right. Thank you so much, Kristen.
Thank you. Have a great day.
And good stuff. These have been super fun. Super, super fun. I've enjoyed every single one of them. They've all shared some really unique insights that hopefully you guys can take and implement into your practice in one form or fashion. And I think it was Ben that said this. I know we've talked about it before, but there's a million different ways that you can do this business. You can set up your business. You can run it this way. You can run it that way. And there's not necessarily a wrong way to do it. But like Kristen said, if you're not putting the client first, that's the wrong way. Put the client first, be empathetic, be authentic, and just try to help people. And like you said, you'll fall backwards into success. It's not hard to do if you're just actually genuinely caring about people.
Yeah, it's not hard to do. Please don't treat people that way. Don't just chase all the dollars that you think are in the room. Don't just treat whoever you think is wealthy differently. Don't just go in there and just do your job and learn your job. Actually learn it and sell the products appropriately and invest people appropriately. I had an advisor down the street from my office, and I keep seeing his clients, and the things that he's selling them makes me itch. It's so irritating the way that he pitched. We'll talk off air about that one. That one was wicked yesterday, but don't be that person. Be like Kristen, be authentic, know and treat your people with respect, and it'll work every time. So
sell the solution, not the product. That's just help people meet their need. Just like she said, don't be married to one thing or the other. Just help people.
You want to
No, I don't want to touch
help people
that thing.
see your face, dude?
No, that's an old picture that I hate.
Why?
I won't do it.
Okay.
You can't make me.
I won't do it for you.
No,
Where did we get what is this? I don't remember.
Those were a Christmas gift from Ethan to Bree that he never sent, and she has brought that up every Christmas for the last. Has it been 6 years since that was 2020? So almost 5 years.
Here you go, Bree. This is for you.
She doesn't want them though.
Doesn't want them now. She did want them before.
She wants them. It'd just be kind of weird if she said I do want them.
Yeah.
Because it'd be like send them to me, and it's weird. It's just like our faces, but I'll leave yours about half.
I appreciate that.
It, yeah.
I appreciate that. That's Fat Andrew, and I
Well,
don't like
listen,
that.
are you Fat Andrew now?
But it was Fat Andrew.
I won't do it. Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank you for being here. We'll do more of these. We've got more of the well coming because we're having a great time. We're learning together. So appreciate you. And we'll go get the next one.